Today I'm going to transform the Minecraft mobs into dinosaurs, and the first mob I'll transform will be a sheep. I'll turn this sheep into a velociraptor. Let's start by working on the velociraptor's foot. Now I need to create the beginning of its leg, and I made this cube somewhat diagonal. Now I'll make another one a bit larger like this. On top of that, I'll add a slightly bigger cube to form the rest of the leg. I think this looks great. Now I need to repeat the same process on the other side, creating a leg, another piece like this, and another one this way. We have both legs, and now it's time to work on the body. I'll make a slightly larger cube for the body, which I think is the perfect size. On one side, I'll make the chest and head, while the other side will be for the tail. Since the tail is easier to create, let's start with it. It's simple, just a series of smaller cubes, one after the other. Our velociraptor is taking shape. Now I need to work on the chest. I'll create a cube like this and another one turned diagonally. Here, I'll start forming the neck, adding parts for the head, the bottom of the snout, and the top. The velociraptor doesn't have arms, so I'll create a cube for that purpose. Now let's add another cube here, which will represent its tiny hands. I'll repeat the same process on the other side to create the other hand. The model and texturing look great, but what's even cooler are the animations. One where the velociraptor is standing still, and another one where it's walking. Before bringing the velociraptor to our zoo, I need to create its habitat. We can't let it roam freely as it might harm the other animals in the zoo. So I'm collecting some blocks of polished andesite, which I find perfect for construction. After gathering enough andesite, I found a suitable spot to build the habitat. Since the velociraptor is small, the habitat doesn't need to be too big. I'm going to dig a hole for the construction. Now, I'll use the polished andesite blocks to decorate the walls, alternating with regular andesite to make it more visually appealing. I'll also add some dripstone blocks for decoration, giving it a unique touch. Now that I've decorated the walls, I need to add a glass panel to prevent the dinosaur from escaping. It may not make much sense, but using iron bars would obstruct the view from the outside. To make sure the velociraptor can't jump over the wall, I'll increase its height by adding one more block. The velociraptor's habitat is now ready. I had to come to the savanna biome to find the velociraptor, and here it is right in front of me, guys. It's quite small. Let's see if it runs fast. Well, at least I found a pair of them. Wait, is its head tilted? Maybe I'm going crazy. These are their new home, so they should stay there. I'll close it up and it's done. I'm quite pleased with the new habitat I built for them, and I'd rate it 9 out of 10. Please comment below and let me know your rating. The next mob I'll transform will be the horse, turning it into a brontosaurus, the dinosaur with the long neck. So I start by making the leg of this dinosaur. This will be the toes, and I'll make a larger cube for the rest of the leg. This is how the front leg looks like. The back leg will be slightly different, so I had to make a slightly smaller cube. Just like I did with the front leg, I'll add the toes, and then I'll complete the rest of the leg. Now I have to repeat all of this on the other side, starting with the front leg, adding the little toes, and completing the leg. The back leg will be the same process, completing it with the toes. Now all 4 legs are done. Next, I need to create the body. For that, I'll make a giant cube. This size should be perfect. This part will be the neck. Since it's a tall dinosaur, the neck needs to be very long. Before continuing with the neck, I'll make a cube for the belly, and now I'll create the neck. This size looks good. Now, I'll make the head, and it also has a small detail on top. I'll shape the bottom of the snout and complete it with the top part. The model is practically finished. The only thing left to do is its tail. So, I'll make a cube like this, then another smaller one, and gradually decrease their size, creating this shape. I put a lot of effort into it, and this is the closest I could get it to look like the dinosaur. This is the animation of the dinosaur standing still, and this is its walking animation. I'm quite happy with it. Let me know if you liked it too. I also took the opportunity to create a frame for its habitat. I'll do the same thing I did with the velociraptor's habitat, breaking the ground but deeper, considering this dinosaur is much larger than the other one. Now I need to build the walls for this whole area. To do that, I'll have to go to the nether to gather plenty of basalt blocks. I think it would look great to add some decorations with these bone blocks. This amount of bones should be enough. Now I have to remove all the stones around the outline to start building the basalt wall. I made 2 pillars because I plan to have a glass wall in the front. And on this side, I'll add some pillars like this, which I think will look nice, resembling the beginning of a volcano from afar. The bottom part of the wall didn't take much time, but the top part was quite challenging. Inside, I'll build a fossil, and here I'll create a bone. Don't think it's over yet because I need to get some sand. I'll use it for decorating the floor. To make it look better, I added some dry bushes and used a lot of tall grass with bone meal. Now, I'll build the glass wall, and don't worry, the brontosaurus won't escape from this habitat. Finding this dinosaur was easy since it spawned near the zoo. Now, I'll bring them inside the habitat, and it looks like this. I'd give it an 8 out of 10, so let me know what you think about it. The next mob I'm going to transform will be the horse, turning it into a triceratops. As you already know, I'll start with its leg. Add 2 claws and create a cube diagonally. This is how the leg will look like. Now I'll repeat the same thing on the other side. Add the claws and finish the leg. The back leg will be slightly different, so I had to do this here. Now I'll create a cube diagonally and make the other one slightly bigger like this. To add the final touch, add the claws and repeat all of this on the other side. Next, create a cube facing the other way. This is the foot, and add the claws. For the torso, I'll make a giant cube. Now for the belly part, I'll make it a bit larger and create another one for this side. To make it easier to understand, I'll create the head, and I'll also add this little detail it has. Now I'll create the upper part of the snout and then the bottom. The triceratops has a horn on top of its head and another one on the tip of its snout. So create the one on the tip of the snout and now make the one on the head. To add some extra detail, tail, I also added some bone details, and I think it looks perfect like this. For the tail, everyone knows what I'll do. I'll just make it thinner, and the model is ready. It turned out very beautiful, not to mention that the texturing looks great. I kept the animation like this with it walking. It may be simple, but I really liked it. Now I'm flying towards this cave because there's plenty of diorite blocks here, and I'll use them to create the habitat for the Triceratops. Another block I'll need is calcite, and for those who don't know, it's this white block. Luckily, I left some of these in the chest, and there are other blocks like this smooth basalt. I want to make the habitat exactly in this place, but there's a small problem. I'll have to do it very close to the other ones, so I'll even put some blocks like this. I spent a few minutes digging, and it was a bit more challenging because I made this hole deeper. I already broke all the walls, so now I can fill it with diorite. I left the wall with gaps so that I can fill it all with calcite blocks. From above, it looks like a salt mine. To solve that, I'll replace the floor blocks with podzol, and that's why I'm here in the jungle to get some of these blocks. For the floor, I alternated between coarse dirt and podzol, and I really liked the result. But as you can see, it lacks some greenery, so I collected plenty of bamboo, and it will serve to enclose this habitat. Of course, I'll add a fence. Inside, I'll plant this mangrove tree, and I'll plant another one right here. I'll place some bushes on the ground. Wait, what? I can't place bushes on the ground? Okay, then I'll add some bamboo. Since I can't use bone meal on the ground, I'll spread some bushes around. I'll also add some leaves to make it a bit greener. In the taiga biome, I find the Triceratops. Look at what a beautiful mob it is. But let's capture it and take it to its habitat. Okay, bring the two inside, release the leash, and the Triceratops habitat is ready. In my opinion, this is one of the most beautiful habitats I've made, and I'd give it a rating of 9.5. I'm flying in search of a mob that I'm going to transform, and I think I already found one. It's going to be a chicken, but this chicken will turn into my favorite dinosaur, the T-Rex. I'm going to make the T-Rex model more detailed because it's my favorite dinosaur. I've already worked on its paw, and now I'll start making the leg. This dinosaur is going to be gigantic. Let's make one part of the leg, another larger piece, and here it will be much bigger. Take a look at the size of this leg. It's almost 3 blocks tall. It took some effort to make this leg, but luckily the second one will be much easier. Add one toe, another toe, wait, I forgot the middle one, and add the claws. Create a section of the leg, another turn forward, one upwards, and this larger piece. To make the body, I'll have to create this big cube, and I'll make another cube down here for the belly. Craft a part of the tail, make another smaller cube, and even a smaller one. Now, we have half of its body done. What's left is the chest and head. So, I'll create a cube turned diagonally. Before I forget, I also need to make the arm. Form a cube facing forward and another facing downwards, then repeat on the other side. One forward and the other downward. This cube will be the neck, and now I can start working on the head. Create the upper part of the snout. This will be the teeth, and add a detail for the eyebrow. Now just duplicate it to the other side. I need to make the bottom part of the T-Rex's head, so add another cube, and this will be the teeth with a small detail here on the side. And finally, our T-Rex is ready. The model turned out perfect, and the texture looks incredibly realistic. If you liked all this, I'm sure you'll enjoy this animation of it standing still and another one of it walking. Look at that! It closes its mouth, runs, and even moves its tail. I'm in a biome with many eucalyptus trees to gather plenty of wood. I can tell you, I collected a lot of wood, almost turning this biome into a plain. To save time, I've already made the hole where their habitat will be. I've also built all the walls here. Let me check if I have some sand in this chest. Oh, I have only 50, but no worries. I'm here in the desert precisely to gather as much sand as possible as I need to create a sand floor. To make it look better, I'll mix it with some dirt, and now I'll build a stone with dripstone, just like before. I also constructed a dinosaur head, or at least that's what it was supposed to be. Seriously, it looks terrible, but it's all about perspective because with some decorations, the habitat will look much better. But before showing you the final result, I had to come here to the desert to get my T-Rexes. Look at these beautiful dinosaurs. Obviously, in real life, they were much larger. I have a couple now, and they need a house, but the only problem is that I think this habitat is too small for them. Let me release them here. Perfect. It's a good thing they are peaceful because otherwise, that cow over there would have been their meal. I really like the habitat and the model. I give it a 10 out of 10. Leave your rating in the comments, and also check out the video that's appearing on the screen. In this video, I'm going to transform the mobs into prehistoric creatures, and since they can't roam freely on the map, I'll create a special habitat for each of them. I'm in this village, and the first mob I'm going to choose to transform will be the cow. Here's the model of the cow, and I'm going to turn it into a mammoth. The first thing I have to do is erase all its parts. Now, I'll start by making the leg. I create the foot and enlarge this cube. Now, I'll have to repeat this on the other side. So, I make the foot and enlarge this cube. In the front part, I'll have to do the same thing, but the cube will be a little bigger. This cube will be almost double the size of the other one. And now, duplicate it to the other side. We need to create its body and head. That's why I'm going to stretch this cube, make another one diagonally, and another one higher up. Now, it's starting to take on the mammoth shape. I enlarge the cube to create the head, make a smaller cube on top, and add the trunk. To complete the model, I need to make its 2 tusks. I add these, copy the other side. After creating the texture, this is how our mammoth looks. Man, this is incredible. Look at how realistic it is, not to mention the animation when it's standing still. This one is for when it's walking and attacking. Before adding the mammoth to Minecraft, I need to create a habitat to keep it contained, as it can attack the other mobs in the game. That's why I'll start by marking where I'm going to build its habitat, since it's a very large mob. It needs a spacious area, and after researching online, I found out that some mammoths lived in frozen areas. That's why I'm here in the snow biome, as I'll need a lot of compacted ice and snow. Collect compacted ice, gather snow, and I'll need some of this wood too, but it needs to be stripped. Before building, the first thing I have to do is level the terrain. After making the terrain flat, I'll spread a layer of snow across this area to protect the mammoth inside. I'm going to create an enclosure. Basically, this enclosure will ensure that the mammoth doesn't escape and no outside mobs get in. I left the top irregular to resemble tree trunks embedded in the ground. I left the front area open so I can fill it with glass panels. Now, anyone passing by the front will be able to see inside. I took the opportunity to add some ice decorations and even a house for it to sleep in. Oh my god, come! What a heavy animal, man! Our mammoth won't be alone in here. I also brought its companion. Look at this, look at the size of these animals. Man, they're huge. They're wall-sized. I think I should close this up before they try to escape. Let me tell you, this turned out really well. Look at the little mammoths inside. Check out the view from outside, man. It looks great. But this is just the first one. Now we need to choose another mob, and that's why I'm at the beach, because it's going to be the turtle. Wait, turtle, a strong no. Don't run, man. Here's the model of the turtle, and I'm going to turn it into a megalania. So I need to delete all the parts. I'll start by making the belly. This will be the neck, and on the other side, it will be the beginning of the tail. To make the tail, I'll add several cubes, one smaller than the other, until it becomes very thin at the end. Now I'll start with the head. This will be the mouth, and this piece above will be the teeth. I'll do the same thing for the upper part. As you can see, its body looks like that of a crocodile because this species is like a type of lizard. You can see it's missing the legs. So I'll add one diagonally, another down here, and a paw. I'll duplicate it to the other side. I'll make the hind leg, create a cube, make the paw, duplicate it to the other side. This is its texture, and it looks really cool. These details on its back, even the underside. The animation also looks great. This is it standing still. This is it walking in Minecraft, and this one is it attacking. Now I need to decide where to create a megalania habitat. Looking from above, I think it's interesting to do it exactly in this area. So let's mark all of this. And since it's a smaller animal than the mammoth, its habitat doesn't need to be as large. I marked it, and this size is perfect. Unlike before, where I collected resources first, I'll level the terrain first. Now I need to decide which blocks to use in this habitat. I found some images online and noticed that there were small shrubs and even some dried ones in the vegetation. This biome I'm in is the perfect place to find this packed dirt. It looks a lot like the one in the picture I found. I think I can use some podzol. I'll need some of these dried shrubs because they'll be essential for our construction. The only thing left is to gather some leaves and acacia wood. Remember, it can't be regular wood, it has to be stripped. The idea is to cover the ground with this coarse dirt. Now, for the podzol part, it was a bit tricky since I couldn't place all the blocks at once. I had to break everything randomly first and then go back and fill it in with podzol. After finishing the habitat, it looks like this. Look how nice it is. And after finishing the habitat, this is how it turned out. I built a wall with glass panels and took the opportunity to place the pair of megalania inside here. This looks incredible as I've added some plants here, this bush, and even this spot for them to drink water. Without a doubt, when someone passes by here, they will have a very beautiful view. If you look to the left, you'll see the mammoths, and if you look to the right, you'll see these megalania. And now, the next mob I'm going to transform will be an ocelot. It doesn't catch fire! I have the ocelot model, and I'm going to turn it into a smilodon. So I select all these cubes and delete them. I'm going to start by making the paw. A piece for the leg, another piece, and one more. I duplicate it for the other side. I create the hind paw, make this cube, another larger cube, one even larger, and then I duplicate it. Now I have the 4 legs here. I have to make the rest of the body. I increase this cube, make another one, and one more. I added a tail to it. Now I'm going to make the head, but for that, I'll need a neck, a piece for the head, an ear, and I'll duplicate it for the other side. Here will be the bottom part of the mouth, and this upper part creates the tooth, and I repeat it on the other side. Now, it's just about texturing, and this is how it turned out, man. Look how cool! I took some references from the internet. Some had these spots, and others didn't. So I decided to combine everything, and it turned out like this. I hope it looks somewhat similar. I managed to make this animation for when it's standing still. This one here will be it walking, and this other one will be it attacking. To create the smilodon's habitat, I'm going to gather some bamboo. I'll also collect a bit of wood. Another thing I'll need a lot of is glass, so I'll get some sand and cactus. Now I'll put sand in the furnace, make green glass, and turn it into panels. I'll mark the location where the smilodon habitat will be. There will be a lot of glass, so I'm marking this area. First, it'll be here on this side. I also want to mark this other part. To speed things up, I've already started making the entire wall. I built the enclosure and even decorated the middle. Now I'll plant some bamboo where there's no glass and some grass as well. But to make it perfect, I'll plant a tree up here. It will be one of those 2 by 2 trees, but quite small. I planted another one here as well. It looks a bit strange, but it will be like this. Now it's just about bringing in the pair of smilodons. Come over here. Look how cool this is, man. This model turned out very cute, and without a doubt, this is the perfect habitat for them. They can play a bit on the tree and even take a dip in this pond. Our small zoo of historic animals is growing, and now I'm going to transform the next mob, which will be the chicken. All right, I have the chicken model now, and I'm going to turn it into a forest rhapsody. As you already know, I'm going to erase all its parts, and I'll start by creating the leg. I add the toes, make a part of the lower leg, another part, and this will be the thigh. I duplicate it for the other side. Let's start making the body. I create this cube, make this one diagonally, another one, And to make it look nice, I add another one here. The back part should not be straight to make it look more natural. I'm going to shape it like this. As you can see, it has very small wings, so I'll add a cube here, extend it, and create another like this. I duplicate it for the other side. I stretch this cube to create the neck. This will be the start of the head, so I create it like this, add the top part of the beak and the bottom part. It has some feathers on the head and at the back, so I'll add several little leaves to texture later. I place them on the back as well. After texturing, it will look like this. Look how realistic it turned out. I put a photo on the side for you to see the comparison, and this looks really good. I don't know how this animal moves, but this is how I made it in a stationary pose, like this for walking and like this for attacking. To not waste time, I've already prepared this habitat, and look how beautiful it turned out. I planted some mangrove trees. I was actually very inspired by the new biome in Minecraft. I made all this ground with mud and even replanted these dead shrubs. Now I'm going to bring these two buddies into their habitat. I think I made the entrance too small. It's better to break this wall. Perfect. Can it fit through? Now I'm going to close this and release their leashes. Honestly, this looks really good. Let me bring them a little closer here. Perfect. And this other one too, buddy? Because you like to stay in the corners, right? I just think I could have made this habitat a bit larger, but I can always expand it later. And now let's transform the last mob, which will be the villager. Here's the model of the villager, and wait, if you didn't know what he wore under his clothes, it's this. But I'm going to transform this villager into a caveman. And as you already know, I'll select everything and erase it. I'll start by making a leg, make the other one a larger cube because this will be his clothing, and an even larger cube. Now create an arm, the other one as well, and in this hand, I'm going to make a club. So extend this cube, create the back part, now extend it a bit more, extend here as well, and to give the final touch, just do this. And the caveman is almost ready. Now I need to create the head, make a cube like this, and another slightly larger one because this will be the beard. Add the nose, ears, and also the eyebrow. I added several cubes because this will be the hair, as they didn't have a way to cut it back then. I'll do the same for the beard. The model is practically done, and after texturing, it will look like this. Man, it looks really cool. Look at all the details I added to this model. Without a doubt, this is the best one. Comment down below which model you find more beautiful. If you liked the model and the texture, you haven't seen it in action yet. Here it is walking, and the best of all, attacking. Look how cool. The movement is perfect. Now let's see how this looks in Minecraft. And now I'm going to place a bed here. Another one beside it. Outside, I'll place this campfire, and I'll put these wooden logs as if they were a camp bench. I just need to bring them in here. Come here, both of you. The other one too. Now close this, and you're free. Well, maybe free isn't exactly the word I meant to say. But now, yes, I've finished transforming the mobs into prehistoric creatures and have a habitat for each of them. Feel free to watch the video that's appearing on the screen. Today, I'm going to create mobs for the structures, and in addition, I'll have to build each of them here in my zoo. The first structure for which I'm going to create a mob will be the amethyst geode. Minecraft introduced this structure, but there's nothing challenging about obtaining these amethysts, which is why I'm going to create a mob for it. So I start by creating an amethyst mob, starting with its leg, creating another one. This cube will be its belly, and this one will be the chest. Now I make an arm, and this cube will be its hand. Now I do the same thing on the other side and make the hand. Seriously, this model is turning out really nice, but it's not finished yet because I have to make the head, add a detail on the forehead, and I think now it's ready. But it seems like something is missing. Hold on, I know what it is. I'm gonna add some amethysts like this and scatter them on its back. Now it's ready, man. It looks really nice. Just imagine if this thing were actually added to Minecraft. The coolest part is seeing it standing, walking, and attacking Minecraft is loading. I wonder if the mob is in there. Oh, it's right here, man. Look at this. It's so cool. But there's one catch. It attacks. Look, I'm gonna take it down. Look, guys, it dropped this block here, which is the one that generates amethyst. In reality, there's this one here that doesn't do anything, and this one here that generates these amethysts. You can't really obtain it in survival mode. I'm gonna break this block here, and nothing will drop, man. It's just that there's one. I made the mob, but I ended up killing it. So I'll have to go to another amethyst geode to find the new mob. While I'm here, I'll gather all these amethysts because I'll have to rebuild this structure in my zoo. And it doesn't stop there because I'll also have to get these calcite blocks and some basalt. Look, it's right here. Hold on. Can I leash it? All right, but the only problem is that it might attack me. Come here! Oh, the problem is that it's too tall, so I'll have to clear a path for it to pass through. Man, I wonder if it's at least smart enough to climb a ladder. I already have the golem, but as you can see, it doesn't have a home to live in. That's why I'm going to make an amethyst geode for it. The idea I'm having is to do it right here, guys, because here I can take advantage of all this open space, and that way I'll have less work to do. But of course, I won't make it inside. As you can see, all the mobs I've created here in Minecraft have their habitat exposed for everyone to see. That's why this amethyst game is going to be right here on display. The only problem will be breaking all these stones, but luckily I have this ender chest, and inside it there's this shulker with a beacon inside. So I built the pyramid. I can't believe I built this thing so far that its signal only reaches here. Oh, come on, I'll have to move this beacon. Now it's better for breaking. Now the idea is to take all these amethyst blocks and make a small circle here in the middle, but I have no idea how to do this. Look, I think this size is not good because there will actually be a glass panel here, so I need to make this a bit bigger. Now it seems like this shape is good. Now I have to build all these walls and make them somewhat rounded. Of course, it won't be identical to the structure, but maybe it can even look a bit better. There, now I can call this an amethyst geode. In fact, I'll even take these amethysts here and decorate the wall with them. However, there's a problem. I only picked up 4, but that's not a problem because there are plenty of these amethysts here. Now, I'll place all of these on the walls and it looks really nice. I was also looking and saw that this floor here looks very strange. Maybe if I put this white calcite block on the floor, it will look much better. I'll enclose this entire wall with this glass. And of course, before I finish, I need to take that golem inside. Come on, big golem, come here. No, don't close it. There we go. And this is your new home. Personally, I really like this habitat and I'd give it an 8. And for the mob, I'd give it a 9. Comment below and let me know what rating you would give this. I'm in a cave and the next structure I'm going to create a new mob for is the abandoned mine. You probably already know that in the abandoned mine, those poisonous spiders spawn. However, the essential thing Mojang didn't add to the abandoned mine is a miner. It doesn't make any sense to have a fully constructed mine without a miner here. But thinking about it, since it's an abandoned mine, there shouldn't be any mobs here. But setting that aside, let's create this mob. Start by making the miner's leg. Create the other one. This part will be his clothing, this will be the left arm, and this will be part of the shirt. Now duplicate it for the other side. And now we need to make the head for it. So make a cube like this and create a nose. The miner also needs a helmet, so I'm going to make it on top of his head. Create a smaller cube, and this will be the lantern. Honestly, this miner looks really nice. The miner needs a pickaxe for mining, so that's why I'm going to make one in his hand. I already have the handle, now make a piece of it, the top part and the bottom part. As everyone knows, he's the miner, and he probably collects a lot of ores, so I'm going to make a backpack behind him. I'll add a little detail here and make various ores. If you found this mob cute, it's because you haven't seen this animation of him standing still and this one of him walking yet. And here in Minecraft, this mob looks really cool. Guys, look at this. Just imagine if this little mob were actually added to the game. However, he's not just another cute mob I added, he has a function. For every cobblestone you give him, there's a probability of dropping ores. You can see the amount of cobblestone disappearing from my hand, and I managed to get quite a bit of ore with this function. This function is really good because after mining a lot, you can come here and trade with him. Another thing I did is that when you hit him with a sword, he drops a diamond pickaxe. Now I'll have to figure out how to find another miner. Oh, there he is! So lasso him and pull him in. Just like I did with the amethyst mob, you'll also be stuck here in this enclosure because I'll have to build your house. Since he lived in an abandoned mine, the idea will be to make a mini abandoned mine here. I want to do it exactly like this. The only difference is that it's going to be much easier since I only need to dig a hole, but I'm going to improve it. I'll make a much larger mine, and for that, I'll have to start digging a super tunnel to make as much space as possible for him to move around. I'll also make some turns here since it's boring to have just this piece here. So the idea is to make a tunnel this way or that way. Oh man, it won't work here because there's an amethyst geode, so cover it up. To decorate this, I'm going to need a lot of wood, and luckily there's this forest here. Since sooner or later I would need to remove all these trees, I'll remove them all because I need the wood. The reason I took so much wood is because I want to make a wooden floor. And besides that, I'm going to make something like this. And here on the side, I'm going to put some fences like this. Guys, now it's just about making the entire floor. I made these markings with the fence, and each of them is 5 blocks apart from each other. This will serve for me to place these wooden logs, and look how beautiful this abandoned mine is getting. And don't think it's over here because I'm going to add some lanterns for decoration. Place one here, another one here, and I think that's the last one. And I can't forget the main thing, which is the train track. And now it's just a matter of bringing him in here and closing this up. This is the miner's new home, and I think he's quite happy. The rating I give to this construction is an 8, and the model as well. I'm here in the desert because the next mob I'm going to create is for this structure, the pyramid. And the mob I'm going to add to this structure is a mummy. Making the mummy is quite simple. You just create its 2 legs, make its belly, create one arm like this, and the other arm here. The head part is even simpler because this is its face, but I'll add one more layer that will make this mob much more appealing. Wow, this mob looks really cool. Look at its texture. It really looks like it has some strips of cloth wrapped around it. This is it standing still, this is it walking, and this is the animation of it attacking. Let's see if the mummy is in there. Oh, there are 2 here. What's this? No, don't kill me. The mummy's habitat is, of course, a pyramid, which is why I'm in this desert to collect as much sand as I can. Because with this sand, I can get sandstone, or better yet, I can dig a little deeper and break the sandstone itself. I believe this will be much easier. And after a few minutes minutes of collecting the blocks, the pyramid I want to make is quite simple. I'll just make a diagonal marking like this, and I think this is good up to here. Now I'll pull the row of blocks like this and connect these ends, and I'll have to do the same on the other side to make the pyramid. There's not much explanation. We just narrow it at the top, and I think it looks good this way. There, now I'll have to make a small tower right here and another one exactly in this place. Now I just need to go up each of them. I finished making the pyramid. In fact, I'll even take the mummy inside. See, just follow me. Come here, I have to open this. Okay, it worked. In fact, leave the hole open here for me to run out, actually, to fly out. And this looks really cool. There's plenty of space for it. In fact, there's more space than in a regular pyramid. Now I'll close this up. And the rating I give to this construction will be a 9.5, and for the mummy, I'll give it an 8. I'm recording down because the next structure I'm going to create a mob for is a stronghold. Man, I know this stronghold has these mobs here that are very annoying, but considering how useless these mobs are, I can't even consider them. The idea I had is to create a mob that will wander around the stronghold all day. So let's make it, and I want to keep it simple since I don't have many ideas. These will be its 2 legs, this will be its belly, and as you can see, I mixed that end portal block with a stone brick block. This will be its head, and it's like a mini end portal block with the end eye in the middle. I'll make its arm out of stone and add a detail on the shoulder, and now repeat on the other side. Man, this mob looks really cool. It's half stone and half end portal. It really looks like a stronghold mob. This one is his idle animation, and this other one is him walking. Imagine encountering this mob in the stronghold chasing after you. If you thought that was cool, it's because you haven't seen him attacking, because he attacks like this, man. It's so cute. And look who's here in front of me. He's very fast. There's another one of him. Wait, take this. Wow, guys, look at this. They dropped these ender eyes. This is great, because here you can get all the ender eyes you need to open the portal. In fact, there are quite a few of these mobs here, guys. Look, and they are very close to the portal. Hold on, there's another one behind here. I'm glad I have a great sword, otherwise I would have already died. Okay, so I'll take this ender eye here, and this one too, and with this, I can fill the portal to the end. I'm just missing 2. And my goal here is not to defeat any of them, but to take them to my zoo. Now I need to find them, because I defeated all of them. Where are you, Enderman? Oh, there's one here. I'll leash him. Even though, my god, the problem is that he's very fast. But before taking him to the zoo, I'll leave him here for now because I'm going to take this opportunity to collect all these blocks for the construction. Now I'm going to get some lava, and I'll also collect some iron bars to contain the mob here. The idea I had is to make a stronghold room right in this place, just like I did in these 2 habitats. The idea is simply to make a room, and of all the habitats, this one will be the easiest of all now. I need to make a marking to know its size. I'll make it about this size. In fact, I don't even know the real size of that stronghold room. I believe this size should be more than enough. Now I'll do the entire floor, build a wall, and to complete it, I have to make the ceiling, and I'll leave this front part all open because here I'm going to put a glass panel. I'll make some windows to put these iron bars, and I'll have to repeat the same on the other side. Oh my god, I broke it all wrong here. I'm going to make that lava thing, and to finish, I'll break some random blocks like this, and we'll stay between this broken block and this mossy block to make this construction 100%. I'll put a ladder here, and now I'll bring this mob inside. Here, man, release him and leash him. Good. Now this is your new home. This construction is quite simple, and the rating I'm going to give it is a 5. However, I like the model quite a bit, and the rating I'm going to give it is 8. I'm here in the jungle because there's one of the most useless structures in the game right in front of me. To give you an idea, this structure is so useless that the most it has is a quiz here, actually. A trap as well that releases this arrow that does nothing. And in the end, there's this chest here with some lousy items, if I'm not mistaken. There should be some chests here with enchanted books, gold, and emeralds. Well, this is actually not bad at all. But one thing missing in this structure is the mob, so that's why I'm going to make it. To make the jungle temple mob, I want to mix 2 blocks, the azalea block and mossy cobblestone. So start by making its leg with mossy cobblestone, and you can already see that its leg is quite small. Make the other one. This will be its body, and I've already made its 2 eyes. This will be the azalea part, and as you can see, the texture looks very similar. It's like a mask covering its face. To make it look nice, I'll add some foliage on top, actually. I'll add another one. It looks messy. Now make its arm and create a little azalea detail. Duplicate it for the other side, and the model is ready. Look at how beautiful it turned out. This is how we'll see it idle, and this is how it will walk. Man, it's very cute. Now, I want to ask you to get ready, because this is its attacking animation. Guys, look how cool it is. It's like it's doing a forward flip. Honestly, this is totally worth your subscription. Now let's see if the mob is in there. Let me check here. There's nothing, and look here. Man, look at this fun-looking mob. Oh no, it's taking damage. Come on, I can't believe it died. And look, it dropped an azalea azalea block. Well then, that's great. I want to run a test. I'll go a bit far, and now when I come back, I want to see if another mob spawns in there. Let's see. Look guys, it's here. Look, my god, it's dealing damage. Come on, naughty mob. Here, follow me. We're going home. It seems like he doesn't want to follow me. Come on, let's go. Get stuck here. Now I'll have to destroy this whole temple to get these blocks to rebuild this construction in our zoo. To start, I need to make the base of this construction. Now I have to build the wall of this construction, build the roof, and this is the result. Man, this thing looks awful. And maybe if I add some decorations, it seems to have improved a bit. But what can really save this construction is me mixing these blocks. I'm going to replace some of them with this mossy cobblestone. Look, I won't say it's perfect, but at least I can take this mob inside. What's this, man? Look, if he keeps doing flips, come here. He won't fit. He's too big. Wait, let me break this. Come here. There you go. Now I have to close this, and now he can't escape from here anymore. I really like the mob, and I'll give it a 9, but the construction, I'll give it a 3 because it's really bad. If you like this video, I'm sure you'll enjoy the one appearing on the screen here. Today, I'm going to create mobs that Mojang didn't add to Minecraft. Additionally, I'll create a habitat for each of them. The first mob is going to be the shark. So, I'll start by making the belly, add a detail up here, increase it a bit more, add a fin on this side. On the other side, now make a smaller cube, an even smaller one, and an even smaller one. I'll create this part, this other one, and the shark is almost ready. Now I need to make the head, create a cube, this bottom part, add the teeth, and make this top part, finally close it up. The shark is ready. This is its swimming animation, and this one is it attacking. To find the shark, I had to go into the ocean, but it's quite difficult to find. I've been here for a while now, and look, there's a shark down there. Actually, there are 2, so I'll jump in. Wow, guys, look how cool it looks in the game. Thankfully, it doesn't attack. Wait, my oxygen is running out. Come back, come back. One more try. Come here, shark. There you go. Got it. No, my oxygen is running out. Got this one. Great. I'll have to take these 2 to the place where I'm going to build their habitat. But there's a problem. Most of the way is on land, and both of them are aquatic animals. Wait, will flying work? Look, they're flying. No, go back to the water. Hold on. If they stay out of the water in the game, will they die? I waited for a few seconds and nothing happened. I know this doesn't make any sense, but I'll take them along the surface anyway. Let's go, guys. I'll leave the sharks in this small water pool while I build their habitat because it's really strange for them to be out of the water. I'm going to start our habitat project, and I had to level a vast area since this terrain was quite uneven. The idea I just came up with is to create an aquarium for the sharks. To make this happen, I need to mark where the aquarium will be. To begin creating the habitat, I'll have to dig a hole because in addition to providing space for the sharks to swim, I also need to decorate it. Now, I'll create a thin layer of sand on the bottom since my plan is to decorate it with some corals. I'm back in this icy biome because it's one of the only places where I can find this blue ice. This ice block is somewhat rare, but it looks much nicer than the compacted ice. The idea is to line the entire area with this ice on the walls. I'll add some blocks protruding upward. I think it will look quite beautiful. And of course, I'll use glass to build the aquarium walls. I've chosen to use this light blue glass since it's quite attractive. I believe that at this point, it's more than enough since this aquarium turned out to be much larger than I expected. I'm going to open a small hole in the wall because I'm going to bring these 2 sharks inside. Come over here, great. You can rest assured that they won't stay out of the water for too long. I have to fill the aquarium with water, so I'll have to collect a lot of leaves because they will be used to create a floor on top of the aquarium. With these leaves at the bottom, it's much easier to fill the entire aquarium all at once. The only thing I need to do is add water around the edges. And as you can see, it starts generating infinite water here. After everything is ready, I just need to break all these leaves. I'm in a coral ocean, and obviously I'm in this place to collect as many corals as I can. I've taken my potion, and now I can collect as many blocks as I want. It's time for me to decorate the entire habitat. I'm spreading coral blocks randomly, and I've also added some seaweed. And our aquarium is complete. Guys, look how cool it is from the outside. You can't see very well, and I believe that this glass has made it a bit difficult to see. I should have used transparent glass for this, as you can't see much from the outside, but you can see the shark there, and the other one here too. My rating for this is 7 out of 10. The next mob I'm going to create is going to be the monkey. I'll start by making the monkey's foot, create a part of the leg and another part, duplicate it to the other side, make the belly, create the chest, and now let's start making the arm. Add another piece and complete the hand facing backward, now duplicate it on the other side. I'll create the head like this, now add an ear, the other one, and this part here is the snout. The monkey is almost ready. The only thing left is to make the tail, so extend it a bit more, and it's done. This is its idle animation, and this one is it walking. I didn't create an attacking animation since many of you requested peaceful animals. I'll take this opportunity to mark the location for its habitat, and it doesn't need to be as large as the previous one because monkeys are quite small. Well, it doesn't need to be that small either. Let's increase the size now. This size looks much better. I'm here in the jungle because this is the best biome to find monkeys since there are some really large trees here. The only problem will be finding them. Maybe if I climb to the top of a tree, I can observe the entire jungle. Or perhaps I can fly, right? Look, on top of that tree, there's a couple. I hope they don't move from there because I kind of have to recreate a jungle within this marked area. So, the first item I'm going to gather is wood. I'll also need saplings, collect some bamboo, and gather some podzol. Let's head back home. Do you think they take fall damage? I don't think so, right? Well, I think they do. I can't believe what I'm seeing. The shark is on top of the glass barrier. Stay stuck there for now. Man, this is crazy. The only way to fix this is to raise this part even more. Imagine if someone is walking by and a shark falls out. There, now it's secure. Starting the monkey's habitat, I'll replace these stones with jungle wood, since these little monkeys have to feel at home. Furthermore, I'll peel off the bark from these logs because, in my opinion, this wood looks much nicer. I'll use green glass for the walls of this structure. I really like this glass because it brings life to the environment. I don't need to make this wall too high since it's not like the one with the shark over there. I know the monkeys will be jumping, but they probably won't jump out. To make it even more like their biome, I'll break some of the ground and replace it with podzol. Another thing I need to do is plant a tree right here in the middle and make it grow. Perfect. Additionally, I'll scatter some leaves here, but I have to be careful not to create a staircase for them to climb the wall. I'll also place some bushes on the ground and create some ladders just for the monkeys to jump around. At the end, there will be a platform, and the only thing missing is a little pond for them to bathe in. There you go, little monkeys. Welcome to your new home. I really like this habitat, and I would rate it 8 out of 10. The next mob I'm going to add to the game is the giraffe. I'll start by creating the giraffe's leg, duplicate it, and make the front one, then duplicate that. Create a section of her body and add another smaller part. This one will be the tail, and I'll add some details to it. Starting with the neck, I'll add smaller cubes one after another, and I'll do this until the end. Create a section of the head, make the 2 horns it has, 1 ear, and the other as well. Make the top part of the snout and the bottom part too. And our giraffe is ready. This is her idle animation, and this one is her walking animation. Giraffes typically spawn in the savannah, which is why I'm here. Now, I just need to find one. The good thing is that they are quite tall, and we can see them from a distance. I said it would be easy, and there are 2 over there. There's a village nearby, so I'll take advantage of the fact that they're already here, and I'll tether both of them to this fence because I can get the resources for the habitat from this village. Okay, Minecraft is not normal. A clay golem, that makes no sense. The first item I'll need is this yellow terracotta. And this is what's left of the villagers' houses. Mr. Villager, I promise I'll fix this. I'll also use these wheat crops for decoration. And of course, I'll need acacia wood as well. I've already marked everything out, but looking from above, it seems quite small, so I'll need to expand it. Now, unlike the other habitats where I used glass walls, for this one, I'll use a fence because the animal is quite large, and even with the fence, I'll be able to see it clearly. The only issue is that in these areas here, I'll have to place blocks first, and then I'll have to add the fence. Otherwise, there will be gaps in those spots. To make them feel at home, I'll plant a tree right here. In Savannah, there's also a lot of grass on the ground, so I'll add plenty of it. They also need water to drink. Finally, I'll decorate with these hay bales, and the giraffe habitat is ready. I would rate it a 9. The next mob I'm going to add to the game is the capybara. Making the capybara is going to be quite easy. Start by creating the front leg, the rear leg, and duplicate it. To make the body, just stretch this cube. It's perfect. Now create the head, make 1 ear and the other. The capybara is ready. This is it walking and this is it sitting. Look how cute it looks when it's sitting. And finding capybaras in Minecraft is easier than you think. They usually spawn in swamps because they like water and also a bit in forest. I just found one and there's another one. Look how adorable they are, especially when they're sitting. This is definitely my favorite animal. They walk a little and then they sit down. Follow me. I have a better place for you to live. To begin, I'll mark a spot where I'll create a small island right here in the middle, and around it, I'll make a huge lake. That's why I need to break this entire area. I'll leave this side with solid ground too, and all this area I'm breaking will become a lake. Filling this with water is definitely going to be the most challenging part, but I'll use the same strategy I used to fill the shark tank. The good part is that here, there are only 2 layers, and that will make it a lot easier. After a few minutes of filling the lake and adding decorations, capybaras, welcome to your new home. Our little zoo is slowly taking shape. If you didn't know, I created all this part here with ancient mobs. As soon as the video ends, this one will appear on the screen for you to click and watch. Even though this habitat is simple, I really like it, and I would rate the capybara model along with this habitat a 9.5. I think we're missing a human element in this game, which is why I'm going to create a miner. Start by making the miner's legs. This will be the torso, and this will be the clothing. Now create an arm, make the other one, and this one will be holding a pickaxe. Make the head, and yes, he'll have the face of a villager. It looks a bit strange because he's completely bald and doesn't have a nose. So I'll make a nose for him. The miner also needs a helmet. On top, there will be a lantern. And obviously, he also needs a backpack. Add a detail up here and also back here. This will be him standing still. And here he is walking. We can find the miner in these mines that are underground. And it's a bit difficult to find him since the mine is a labyrinth. Miner, where are you? Oh, he's right here. I need you to come with me. Come, follow me. Oh no, if you don't want to follow me, then I'll just have to lead you with a rope. The habitat where he'll stay, I'll create it roughly around here. The idea will be to break all this area and make it look like a mine. To make it as realistic as possible, I'm going to create those structures you find in abandoned mines, like these wooden beams here in the railroad track. I think it will look very good this way. The only thing I forgot to gather was the spider web, so I'll use fences instead. Add some planks and train tracks. To complete it, just pull him in here. I'll release him here and close this entire wall with glass. Without a doubt, this was one of the easiest habitats I've created. I would rate this one 4 out of 10, but to make up for it, I'm going to create an extra mob, which will be the lion. So create the leg, extend it, add the paw, and duplicate it. The hind legs are a bit different. They have this larger part here, and the paw is pretty much the same. Duplicating it to the other side. Make a section for the body, add another piece, and the other side like this. Now I'll create the tail, extend it a bit more, and add a detail at the tip. Making the head will be quite simple. Just create a larger cube for the mane. This part will be the face. Make the ears, the snout, and our lion is ready. This is him standing still, and this one is him walking. To find the lions, I had to go back to the savannah, and there were 2 in front of me. One of them is even jumping. I'll use the lasso to capture these 2, and the good thing is that I already prepared their habitat. I just need to break this and bring the 2 inside. Let me close this up. No, no, no. Now bring them in. Come on, come on. There we go. Now I release and run out. Let me grab this glass. I'll take this other one too. Now I'll seal this like this. Now I remove the lasso and close the glass. And finally, our zoo of mobs that Mojang didn't add is ready. Enjoy and watch the video that's appearing on the screen. I selected various biomes from Minecraft, and today I'm going to create a special mob for each one of them. And besides that, I have to build a habitat for each one. The first mob is going to be for the desert biome. I want the desert mob to be very small, which is why its legs will be this size. Now let's move on to the second step. I'm going to create this giant cube that will be its body. Next, create the left arm and the right arm. On top of the head, I'm going to make a cube like this, and this cube here will be a cactus. After creating the texture, this is how the desert mob turned out. This is its idle animation. This one is it walking, and this one is it attacking. I believe it will be quite simple to find this desert mob. The only problem is that there's nothing here. There's only a cactus right here in front, and you already know that this cactus here is the mob. It even attacks, but I accidentally attacked it, and now it's on fire. Don't worry, you can't see it very well. Now you can see it. The flames are gone. It looks really cute in the game, and look, it runs around like a little baby. I'll have to distance myself from it to get a better look. Now it stopped chasing me. Here you can see that it camouflages itself very well. You can't tell it's a fake cactus unless you get close to it, and then you can see that it looks a bit off. However, even before you touch it, it will start chasing you. The only problem is that it will attack you, and it will do a lot of damage. As you can see, I'm wearing netherite armor, and it's taking a lot of my health. Look at that. No, it's going to kill me. I'm going to take off all my armor and battle with it. Come here. Wow, what is this? Hold on, it's taking away 2 hearts of my health. If it weren't for this sword, I would have lost to it, but look at this. When it dies, it drops a cactus. Here are the remains of Little George. Comment F for Little George. Now, the only problem is that I'll have to find another cactus mob because I need to build a habitat for it in our zoo. Look, there's a dinosaur. This is the dinosaur I created in the video where I turned mobs into dinosaurs. Look at what I found. I'm going to lasso it, bring it over, and tie it to this fence. And before I start building the habitat, I'm already collecting some sand because I want this mob to feel at home. That's why I'm going to recreate a desert biome. Another thing I need to gather is cactus, but there's none here. Fortunately, there were some in the mesa biome. I'll need that too. Now, I'll start building the frame of the habitat. This will help me build the habitat in the right place and the right size. Just like the bear and elephant habitats, I'll need to dig a hole to create the desert biome. Before that, I have a small problem. My shovel is almost breaking, so I went to the end and spent a few minutes collecting. These endermen are stealing the dirt. Now, I can finally return to the overworld and dig this hole. I'll remove all these gravel blocks. And as I'm going to make it a desert, of course, I'll have to fill this whole floor with sand. I need to finish building this habitat, but I won't use any Minecraft blocks. I'm going to do this because I added a mod that provides me with a tool that gives me various block options. For example, I selected sandstone, so it will give me several sandstone options. If I choose cobblestone, I'll have many different cobblestone options. The block I'm going to use is this one. Let me see. Does it look good if I place it on the wall? Look, it looks great. I'll make the entire wall, and I can't forget to add some cacti on the ground and these shrubs as well. What will protect against any mobs falling in are these sandstone fences. Before closing this section, I'll release our mob from the lasso. Hold on, I have to bring it inside. I'll lasso it. Come here, great. Wait, it's attacking me. Perfect. Now I just need to close it up. And this is how the desert mob habitat turned out. It looks really good. I liked it a lot. I'd give the mob an 8/10 and the habitat a 7/10. I'm in a cave because the next biome I'm going to create a mob for is the lush cave biome. I'll start by making the leg of the lush cave biome mob. I'll duplicate this. And to create the rest of the body, I need to make the torso. I'll take advantage of this to make a slightly larger cube. This will be the second layer of its skin. Now I need to make the arm, but this arm will be quite long. You can see it goes down to the middle of its leg. I'll do the same thing I did with the torso. I'll create the second layer. Now just repeat on the other side. To make the head, the first thing I need to add is the neck. I'll make the bottom part of the head and create the top part. I separated this into two parts because I want to create a mouth in the middle and it will open and close. Now I'll make a square like this because I'll place a plant texture here, and to make it look more like the Minecraft texture, I made them parallel, which will give a really cool effect. After creating the texture, this is how the mob turned out. My goodness, it looks very beautiful. Its face turned out sensational, not to mention that I added some azaleas. And under its head, there's this plant. This is its walking animation, and it keeps opening and closing its mouth. The other animation is when it's idle. Wow, it looks really cool. Its attacking animation is quite scary. It takes a bite and pushes with its arms at the same time. And here in Minecraft, the mob from the lush cave biome looks very beautiful. Look, it's even coming towards me. I'll take care of you by hand. You're weak. Actually, it's not weak at all because it took away 1 heart of my health and I'm wearing a full set of netherite armor. I'll need to heal up. Where is it? If I get distracted, it could kill me, but of course, I won't run from this fight. Come on! There, I managed to defeat it, and I also got a flowering azalea. Now I need to find another azalea mob to bring to our zoo. But first, I'll take the opportunity to gather all the blocks I need to build its habitat. The first one is the moss block. Some clays. Enjoy this satisfying sound. I'll gather some flowering azaleas and also this plant that I don't know the name of. After destroying an entire lush cave biome, I managed to capture the azalea mob. Just like I did with the previous mob, I'll keep it here in the enclosure. And now, with these gravel blocks, I'll mark the place and size where I'll build this habitat. However, this size is a bit small, so I'll make it a bit bigger. This size looks good. The next thing I had to do was dig this hole. The reason I made this habitat so large is that the lush cave has many details, and I want all these details to appear in this habitat. I'll build the stone wall to make it look like the wall of a cave, and obviously, for it to really resemble a cave wall, I'll need to add some ores. With all of that ready, now I can cover the entire floor of this habitat with moss blocks. I'll also place some of these carpets on the floor, plant some azaleas, and grow some grass. Now I'll turn this into a tree. I'll spread some moss blocks up here at the top too, because I think it will make it look more beautiful. And in this part where I didn't build anything, I'll create those small ponds that are in the lush cave. After making these little pools, I need to fill them all with water. Additionally, I'll add some of these plants, put a fence around the habitat, and all that's left is to bring this mob in here. Perfect. I'll fly. I'll close this. And finally, the lush cave habitat is ready. I would give a rating of 6/10 for the mob and 9/10 for the habitat. The next mob I'm going to create will be for the mushroom fields biome. I had an idea, and the mushroom biome mob is going to be quite funny. I made its legs very short, but it will have a normal size. However, before I create the rest of the body, I need to make the other leg. I'll create this cube, and this here will be its belly. Yes, it's going to be a chubby mob. Now, let's work on the chest area. This cube will be its head, and it's going to have a slight hunchback. Now, I need to create a larger cube on top of its head because this will be the mushroom cap. And to make the top of this mushroom look a bit nicer, I made a slightly smaller cube. I have to add the left arm, the right arm, and even though its 3D model is very simple, I'm sure this is going to look really cool. But to add the finishing touch, I made these two leaves parallel to each other because here I'll apply the Minecraft mushroom texture. Now, repeat on the other side. This is how the mushroom mob turned out after creating the entire texture. Honestly, I found this mob the most beautiful of all. You can see there's a mushroom texture here, and its body is made of mushroom stem. One of the things I liked the most was its idle animation. This one of it walking and this one of it attacking. With a punch, it will throw you up. And right here in front of me, there's already a mushroom mob. Look how handsome it turned out, and it's also a mob that attacks. In fact, it's attacking me. It deals the same damage as the other mobs, but it seems to be faster. Look, it keeps running without stopping. Well, I guess there's no other way than to fight back. Do you like a fight? Then take this. Come in battle with me. Good, I did it. This was much easier than the others, and it dropped a red mushroom. Since I'm already in this biome, I'll gather all the blocks I need to build the habitat. What I'll need a lot of is this mycelium. Don't worry, little cows, I won't destroy your home. I'll just take a bit of these red mushrooms and these red mushroom blocks. Oh, and to respawn this mob, I'll have to move quite far from this island. Here's the mushroom mob. Now I have to lasso it. I think the best way will be to take it while flying. Hold on, is it coming? Oh no, it fell. It would be better to take it while swimming. After a lot of effort, finally, now I'll keep it. Now Now I'll mark where I'll create the mushroom biome. One of the reasons I made this circle quite large is that I want to make the mushroom island right here in the middle, and around it, I want to add water. To save on mycelium blocks, I'll build this whole part here with gravel blocks, and around it, I'll use mycelium blocks. Create another layer with mycelium blocks. Fill the middle part with grass blocks, and create another layer with mycelium blocks. On top, plant mushrooms, and I'll break all this grassy part. I'll take the opportunity to remove these gravel blocks too. To make it look nicer, I'll outline it all with red mushroom blocks. And everything that used to be grass will become water. And I almost forgot to build the fence around it. I'll lure the mob in here. Okay, jump in here and now close this up. There you go, it's perfect. I'd give a rating of 6 out of 10 for the habitat and 9 out of 10 for the mob. The next mob I'm going to create will be for the ice biome. The mob for the snow biome will be quite easy to make. I've even already made one leg, so I'll make the other one now. I want it to have a unique shape, so I created this giant cube, and here will be its face along with its body. Now, I need to make its arm very large. I'll create the other one as well. On its face, I'll make an eyebrow and duplicate it. Up here, I'll make a leaf like this, and I'll create another one here. I did this because later I'll add a texture of an ice stalactite. But now I have to repeat the same process on the other side. After creating the entire texture, the top part looks really cool, where there's the pointed ice. Its face looks much more like a ghost, not to mention that its arm is entirely made of ice. This is its idle animation, and you can see it looks fierce. This other animation is it walking, and this one is it attacking. From the top of this iceberg, I can see the ice mob. It's very beautiful. Look, it moves quite fast because of the ice. Like the other mobs, it takes away a lot of health. In fact, I'll leave this place or else I'll die. Yeah, there's no other way. I'll have to battle it. Good, I did it. It dropped some blue ice. Since my goal is to build a habitat for it, I'm already collecting plenty of packed ice for construction. Another thing I'll need is snow, some blue ice, and regular ice. I'll capture this ice monster, lock it up here, and to speed things up, I've marked it all, dug a hole, and filled it with water. In the middle part, I'll start by building an ice platform, and I took the opportunity to place these ice stalactites on top of the wall. On top of this ice platform, I'll construct a small mountain. I'll build it with blue ice and snow, and I really liked how it turned out. With the white glass panel, I'll create a wall right in front of the structure. Now, all I need to do is bring this mob inside. Release it, break this, and now just close this. Hold on, it's sinking. If it stays down there, it will die. So I had to go back to the snow biome to get a new mob. To make sure it won't escape, I'll place a glass panel right here. Break all this snow and close it up. And now it won't have a risk of jumping into the water. I'd give a rating of 9/10 for the habitat and 8/10 for the mob. I'm sailing in a boat because the next mob I'm going to create will be for the ocean. To create the ocean mob, I had a different idea. I'm going to combine a piranha with a salmon. To bring this crazy idea to life, I'll start by making the back part. Now I'll have to create a larger cube and even larger until I reach the head part. This is the lower part of the mouth. I'll create a cube here, and this will be the upper part. I'll create a fin on top. These will be the scales, but I'll do this on the entire body. Create one on top of this cube, another here, and at the back, make the tail fin. I'll also make the right fin and the left fin. To make our fish look better, I'll add several teeth. After a lot of work, this is how the ocean mob turned out. Finding this mob in the ocean seems scary, but what's even scarier is that it bites very hard, and this is its idle animation. I stopped for a moment. Even scarier is its swimming animation, and this one is its attacking animation. I was resting on this small island I found, and look at how many ocean mobs appeared here. I don't think it's a good idea to jump into this water, but does it deal a lot of damage? Hold on, calm down. Oh my god, I'm gonna die! And there aren't just these three. Look, there's another one, and there's probably another one hidden here. I have a small problem because now all the monsters want to attack me, but it will be easy to defeat them since I have a very good sword. Imagine you're exploring the ocean, and suddenly this monster appears to chase you. Even though it's a hostile mob, I need to take it to the zoo to create its habitat. For now, I'll let it swim in the snow monster's habitat. To create its habitat will be quite simple. I just need to build a giant aquarium, and I think this is the perfect place to build it. But the only problem is that there's a small mound of dirt, so I decided to remove all that dirt. I had to build the aquarium wall with glass blocks, and I'll take advantage of these blocks to mark where this habitat will be. Furthermore, I'll have to replace all this grass on the ground with sand, and of course, I'll have to fill this entire aquarium using just a water bucket. With all of that ready, I'll just add some seaweed to the bottom of the aquarium. Now I'll need to break these 2 glass blocks and bring the ocean mob here. Perfect! Then it will start swimming after me. Hold on, close this up and perfect! Now, it's inside its habitat, which is the aquarium. This aquarium is quite simple, so I'd give it a rating of 5/10, but for the mob, I'd give a rating of 10/10. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to watch the one that's appearing on the screen.